Hey, beautiful people. Dils Victoria here. Hope all is well. I am the host of podcast What's Your Brand Story, and I have an amazing queen here. She going to enlighten us about scented vine. We're going to find out all about scented vine. I hope you're doing well. It is an amazing Monday today. We are alive. We're grateful. We're alive and kicking and all that good stuff. So, thank you so
Right.
much, Amber, for coming on the podcast. I appreciate you, Queen. How you doing today?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm doing
Absolutely.
well. I am doing well. I have zero complaints. If I did, they wouldn't matter. I'm grateful. That's where I'm
Awesome.
sitting at right
Exactly. Especially with all the things that was happening lately here in Savannah with the
now.
hurricanes and
Right.
the this and the that. It's crazy. So, can you tell the peoples who you is and what you be doing up here in these
I
streets?
sure can. I sure can. So, hello, everyone. My name is Amber. I am the founder of this wonderful scent company named The Scented Vine. Right? It seems like, oh, what you do? What scent? It's just like that. We are a hybrid product and service based business where we started as a candle company, then we had to get aligned to what we were actually supposed to be doing, and we are
Hmm.
simply here to connect people to everything around them through the power of scent, whether that's
Mm.
a person, a community, a business. We are all about connections. That's what the vine is about. So we do that through scent, and it looks different depending on who I'm talking to. But the
Hmm.
basis of all of that is that is our strongest sense, and that is what connects us to our emotions and to our memories, and affects so much of everything that we do every single day. I
Hmm.
don't think people realize it. It's like your hidden superpower, right? So
Absolutely.
I'm here to just bring that power out. That's what I do.
Awesome. So, how did you get started with the scented vine, and and how did you come up with the name, the scented vine? Because I think it's really catchy. It's cute. It's like, oh, what
Mhm.
is that? The vine, scented vine. Like, what is all that about?
I always get the scent divine when they see it together. I'm like, okay, so we actually started. Funny enough, this is the whole thing is a faith journey. I was working in the events industry, 15 years, corporate, nonprofit, university, right? And I was like, I am aggressively underpaid, and I would
Mm.
love to do something different, right? And so all of a sudden, God was like, you should start making candles. What? I didn't really buy candles. I had never made a candle day in my life. And he was real clear. And he said it again, you should make candles. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't get it, but I'm gonna trust you, right? It
Right.
makes no sense, but I'm gonna trust you. So I started as a candle company. This was in 2017. It was the Common Sense Co. That's where we were.
Mm.
It took 4 years of me growing this brand, and there were several things that needed to happen, right?
Hmm.
4 years in, I was like, let me stop playing with these people and let me finally get with an attorney and start to protect the brand that I'm building. And she was like, sis, hard pause. You're going to have to stop
Mm.
because that belongs to someone else, or how it exists right now is way too close to what someone else is doing, what someone's been doing since, at this point, it was like since 2014, and they were in Utah.
Oh
And
wow.
so, good lesson there for several people who are building your brand. If you are scared to invest the money and the time to protect what you're building, then you just need to stop. Just go ahead and
Wait. Say it one more again. Say it one more motherfucking again so the people in the back could hear you. Y'all hear y'all?
listen.
Because I'm
If you
tired
are
of telling
scared
people
to
that.
spend the money, it's because for me it was a money thing. Because like, oh my God, that costs a lot of money, and I'm doing this, and I'm just going to da 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 da. If you are scared to protect what you're building, just stop. At
Hmm.
this point, don't worry about it. Just make it a really professional hustle, because you're
Mm.
not building a business and you're not building a brand. You're hustling very professionally, and I love that for you. But at any point, that thing could switch up on you real fast.
It could.
So we switched to the scented vine because when I got that, hey sis, you can't do it, email,
Hmm.
it was all of, I'm talking about, we know it's a lot of money. So all of the labels, all of the printed stuff, all of our digital footprint, the website, everything was like, I can't do nothing. I mean, she was like, no, you could do it, but I can't stop a cease and desist.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay,
Hmm.
bet I hear you. I got you. So it was a moment of, okay, this doesn't belong to me. And I'm not in the business of keeping anything that don't want to be kept.
That part.
This is not mine to do, right? I did not do what I was supposed to do in the beginning to make sure that it was all the way free. And I
Hmm.
did the very simple thing. Oh, let me just do a Google check. Let me check on Facebook. Let me see if this name is open on a domain, right? And that's cool and all. But when you are really trying to build your brand and you are creating this entity that is separate from you, you need to be sure you can build it to grow it.
Absolutely.
Just operate on a small scale of, oh, well, the Instagram handle was free. Oh,
No,
but no one did
no.
this,
Mm-mm,
right?
mm-mm.
So we went back into prayer. I'm like, okay, God, you know what's going on and you know what we have happening. Um, he was like, you need to get back in alignment
Mm,
because what you were building, although it was well received and it was nice, you aren't fully connected to what I told you when you started. And when I started, he was like, listen, I'm the true vine. Whatever you need, whatever you're trying to do, just stay connected to me and I got you. Loose paraphrase. Loose paraphrase. He said something like that, right?
right, I get it.
I got you, right? So John 15 and 8, baby. I'm where you need to be. And if where you're going to operate is in the scented area,
Mm-hmm.
then do that. Create connections through scent. And so that's how the scented vine
Mm-hmm.
came out, right? We all have a different ministry that we're operating and we're walking into, that we all have different purposes, different things that we were all dealt a different hand of spades, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here is my hand. If I know that I do very well with people and
Mm-hmm.
connecting with them and letting them see, here are the different ways that you can connect with your community, your customers, your anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I do it through scent. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where that started. And we have since grown from being, I don't want to say just a candle company, where we were only focused on the products, which was
Mm-hmm.
too small. We now focus on the power of scent for absolutely everybody. So whether that's
Mm-hmm.
creating custom scents, and I don't mean a custom candle, we mean creating a custom scent where you get your own custom formula, where you can do whatever you want to do with that, where we're doing scent marketing for a business, we're doing immersive sensory experiences, whatever we're doing, it's all about making sure that if you are the person that's benefiting from this interaction, it's because you were able to connect through the power of scent.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we exist to do. It's just let
That's
people know
amazing.
the world is huge, the world is big. Let's experience it through your most powerful sense. And that's
Absolutely.
it. Yep.
Amazing. I love it. So, how has your business transformed you on a personal level and a spiritual level?
You know what? And I'm going to say, not just particularly this business, but being an entrepreneur itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Entrepreneurship is baptism through fire because
Say it again.
you know, listen, it is really truly like, oh, let me dip you down. It's not in the water. You're going to get dipped down in some fire. Okay.
Exactly.
But it is to purify. Everything that
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be on you is going to get burned off
Mm-hmm.
if you are going to continue to go through the process.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the example I just gave of why we even had to change our name was because I was scared. I had, based off of this, I'm a black woman born in the South. We were not high or middle class, right?
Mm-hmm.
Had to watch where that money went, right? So I brought from my personal side all of my fears of money, right? And even if I didn't realize it was a fear of money, it translated in how I did business. So if you're like, oh, I got this money, but I'm scared to do it, and I'm going to watch it real close, you can't do that in business, right? And I don't want to have the whole tried and true phrase, scare money, don't make money. You can reshift the way that looks as saying, I brought a survival mindset into something I was trying to grow. And God was like, no, baby, that ain't going to work. Because number one, who are you trusting in? Yourself? Good luck. Um, Number two, he was like, what are you doing? Do you see what happened when you were scared to pay an attorney to do something very simple as protecting your intellectual property? Right?
I mean,
So
you taking us to church and the spiritual temples and
he
the
had
different
me made up
places.
owning this business because you are doing it for yourself, right?
Yes,
Will have you laid on the altar at the feet of the Father, like Jesus. I ain't got it today.
exactly. And
I
it's
don't
and
know
it
what to
happens
do.
all the time when you like are tired and you don't want to show up, you don't want to do shit. And that's I've learned that's when you lean into it the most.
Yes, yes, yes. Because here's the thing. You know what? It has also done. It has taught me what it actually looks like to give myself grace. Because that sounds cute, but tangibly, what does it look like in terms of now you are a business owner? You cannot operate the same way that you used to operate when you were clocking in for someone else, right? How you show up changes, but then how do you maintain balance when you realize, baby, it's not going to shake if you don't go to work and make it shake, right? And I have the nerve to have 3 kids and a husband and responsibilities. It got to shake. It got to jiggle like the rent is due, right? So giving yourself grace means you have to be real intentional about what are the goals that you are setting in your personal and business life, because they're intermingled, baby.
They are
They are
intermingled.
they
You're
are
right.
very much so intermingled. So are you here is what you're trying to accomplish. Here is what you need to do. Make it work. And then do you also need time for yourself? Do you also need time to go be with your people? Do you
Yeah.
also need time to pour back into yourself? Okay, then
Yeah.
you need to build that into your work schedule.
Yeah.
Like, so
It's all about
all of that
scheduling for
shit.
sure.
It is. It's intentionality. Owning this business has made me so much more intentional with how I steward everything, and not just the money, because originally when you have the survival mindset, to you that is the most valuable, and it's not. It is not. This business and being an entrepreneur really taught me how to be a good steward of everything: time, talent, and treasure, right?
Hmm.
So you only have this much time, and that was not even promised, right? Like,
Hmm.
here are the skill set that you were naturally gifted with. Here are the skill set that you kind of honed in practice and you really made those work. What are you going to do with them? Now, here is the treasure, the money, the resources that we gave you, the wealth that you were gifted or you earned.
Hmm.
How are you going to steward that? Being a business owner, if you want to be successful, you want to sustain what it is that you're doing, make sure that you are stewarding all of those in a way that you can actually see something come back to it. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade it for the world. Wouldn't trade
Hmm.
that for the world. Yeah.
I wouldn't either. I was in corporate America for 20 years, and it was to the point where I was just like, I have to ask you permission for me to take a fucking day off. Oh, you out of your goddamn mind. I know you. I know you
Girl, I
lying.
want to out.
I know
That
you
was that
lying.
was the part for me. That was the part for me. And this is not even being shady, because I'm so grateful for this moment. I can't explain this to you. When my boss looked me dead in my eye and said, I don't trust that when you say you're taking your son to the doctor, that's what you're actually doing.
Mm, mm.
The
When
nerve of me to be at home thinking, Amber, you're sick. Your child is sick. But if you don't go to work, you don't get paid. That you're holding way too much of my livelihood over me. And I'm not saying that to say everyone needs to be an entrepreneur. Absolutely not. Because I promise you, everyone's not
it,
built
and
for
no, a lot of people are not cut out for this game. This game is you have to have a fuck it and jump mentality with this game. You have
it.
to have a mentality where you got, like I said, false evidence appearing real. When that fear pops in or imposter syndrome pops in, you have to show up anyway. You have to show up and show out. Even if you create something and that shit don't sell, you got to go back to the drawing board a couple times. You got to figure out what is the disconnect. It's a lot of things that go into it, and a lot of people are not equipped and not ready for that. It's a mindset.
Yeah,
It's a
it
very
is.
intentional mindset.
Mhm. Mhm. And you know what though, and I understand that most people like, I don't have the desire to do that. Please
Hmm.
recognize that, because please don't look at, oh, look at what you're doing, look at what you're bringing in, look at where you're featured, look at,
Mm-mm.
honey,
That don't mean shit.
honey, what? Do you understand? Do you understand what it takes? And we're talking about, she's talking about fear, y'all. What's the fear of? I'm looking at my kids and I'm telling them, no, I can't do it because I have to do this.
Yep.
But I had to weigh all of these things of what I
Hmm.
do this. Or my
Hmm.
husband's like, hey, I want to take time to do this. And I'm like, oh, I want to do it, but I have to finish this first.
Yeah.
Right. So
Hmm.
it's easier for people to be like, oh, I know you work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And when you off at 5 p.m., the rest of your time is your time. When
No,
you are,
it's not. It's 24 hours around the clock. You be waking up out of your sleep because you have an idea. God gave you a download. You have a new design for this. You want to put a new. It's not. It's never stopping. And I try to
non
explain that to people. They're like, "You always on your phone." I'm like, "Cause I gotta be on my phone. I gotta be on my laptop. Because if not, then I can't do shit.
it's
You
an
know?"
investment into what I'm trying to do.
Yes.
Please understand, I do not subscribe to that hustlers never sleep mindset. No, because you're gonna be sleeping for a long time
Hmm.
if you don't ever take care of yourself. My concept is I am investing in this, and I know when to log off. It's because I had to make
Absolutely.
the decision to do it. I actually
Hmm.
planned for this. Like, I took the weekend off. My calendar said, "Don't call me."
Mm-hmm.
right? Automatically decline anything between Friday and Sunday. Well, I don't work on Sunday anyway, but it's like decline it. Don't ask me for nothing, right? But I worked hard those days up to it, so that way I wasn't tempted. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
feel the obligation to be like, "Ooh, I forgot to do this. Oh, I got to make sure I
Mm-hmm.
did this." But
Mm-hmm.
that also took some getting used to.
Yeah, you got to
It took
discipline
some
yourself in
time.
that way.
You got to discipline. Entrepreneurship and building your brand requires discipline,
It
and it
does.
will show you if you are very lazy in your
Yeah,
mindset
and in
and
your
what
money.
you want to do. It will show you you real lazy with your money. You real lazy with your money. That's those people
Mm-hmm.
that you see that come up and they blow up real fast, but then they fizzle out. It's because the money coming in quick was able to hide bad spending habits
Mm-hmm.
until you spent what was coming in. It's because you weren't disciplined with
Mm-hmm.
what you had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Being someone who is building a brand, and I'm talking about this is not you're building a hustle, you are building a business that will one day stand completely on its own without you. That's
Mm-hmm.
the goal. I
Mm-hmm.
need this to stand apart from me. Where
Mm-hmm.
if I'm like, I don't feel like it, I'm gonna go watch Christmas movies and
It's
drink
still, and the
eggnog,
money's still going.
it's still going to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's still going to go. But in order for me to get it there, the vision for how does this need to work without me needs to be in place. Me understanding what resources are needed to make that happen have to be in
Mm-hmm.
place. What is required? Who is required? When is that going to be required?
Mm-hmm.
That requires me putting in the work now. So
Absolutely.
that's the difference. That's what it shows you about, oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to change you. It's going
It
to change
changed
you. It's
me in
going
a
to break
lot of different ways.
you.
Yeah, it did that too. It did that too because I've been an entrepreneur since 2010. But if I'm really honest, since I was like 16, 17.
Hmm.
I've always had the mindset, so I completely get it. And I've shifted and changed businesses and perfected my craft because sometimes, you start one way and then you're being shifted into another purpose. And sometimes that purpose is just like, okay, this is for a season.
Hmm.
And then you elevate to another level.
Hmm.
And it's
Hmm.
always happening. And people are like, but how do you get the time to do all that stuff? Blah, blah, blah. I have to make the time because for me, it's money, yes, of course, but for me, freedom, freedom, emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom. Yes, financial freedom is great, and I'm not knocking it, but at the end of the day, success to me is in my emotional, mental, and spiritual freedom, my sense of self, knowing who I
Yeah.
am, and being able to have peace with me,
Oh, that's a word.
have peace
That
with
is
me,
a
and
word.
that's why I started the entrepreneurship journey because I wanted to have a level of emotional, mental, and spiritual peace.
That autonomy of
Mm-hmm.
I can make the decision of what am I doing today.
Mm-hmm.
So many people don't have that freedom.
They don't.
It is just the ability to say, I don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
so
Versus
I
I'm gonna have to, so I'm gonna suck this up and I gotta do it.
I
Mm-hmm.
am trying to work to get out of the obligation
Mm-hmm.
of something else. The consistent, because there are going to be times you have to do stuff you just don't want to do. That's just life, right? But we're talking about the consistently to the point that now, like you said, your physical health is impacted. Every time I started going to work, my stomach hurt,
Yeah,
right?
same.
Every
Mm-hmm.
time I would walk in,
The
I was like,
panic attack, the panic attacks,
it's
you
like,
wake up in the morning, anxiety is just like hitting you.
if you got to start every day dreading the day, baby, stop.
Exactly.
Something has to change.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean start a business. No, it means you need to shift. You are out of alignment
Exactly.
somewhere. Something
Yes.
has to shift.
Because if you don't
So,
love what you
whew,
do and it feels like work, then don't do it. I always tell
don't do
people that all the
it.
time. I used to be in corporate, like I said, and I was a front desk receptionist. I always got jobs that were very easy and simple, so I can build my business and allow the job to be my investor.
Mhm.
So it was easy. And I would watch people come off the elevator and take a deep breath and put the mask on their face. And deep down inside, they were dying. When I said screaming for help, and I'm like, come here. Why is your mask on today? Like, why can't you be your true authentic self? I need this job. I need to pay my bills. And I'm like, do you know these people have your ass in bondage right now? Because
Yeah,
they put in your mind already and
you need them.
brainwash you to right. There you
And you
go.
need, there's no other way that you can do what you need. People like, oh, well, if I don't love what I do, I can't pay my bills. Stop.
Mm-hmm.
That mindset is what, that's the first thing, that's the first handcuff that you have. That in
Mm-hmm.
order to pay my bills, I have to go to work. In order to pay your bills, you need to have the resources to get your bills paid. Let's
That means
first say
that
that.
you've already put yourself in some shackles that you didn't even put
It's
yourself
already
into.
shackled.
Yeah.
It's already checking because you're thinking the only way to get this done is to do this.
Hmm.
Remove the box from your mind.
Yes,
You
absolutely.
need to live. You need your livelihood. And we're not telling you to quit your job and go live your best life
Mm-mm.
on the beach. No, honey, because shit, you can be real free. Man, you have no responsibilities. What we're saying is that understand the mind shift that needs to take place. Because again, like I told you, I went into business already in survival mindset and didn't realize it. Oh, I
Hmm.
got a dollar. I gotta hold this dollar because I'm not gonna get another one. It's not guaranteed I'm gonna get another one.
You
Right?
know what? You know what I practice? Every time I spend, I say money comes to me consistently and effortlessly in large and small amounts. The more that I give, the more that I receive. I'm grateful. Every time I spend something.
Yes.
Because that helps me to get out that lack mindset that I'm holding on to it for dear life. Like if I spend $50, I'm gonna get back 500. I know that, and
Hmm.
so I have to consistently do it. And back to what you're saying about mindset. Mindset is a practice that you do every single day. Like it's a muscle.
Every day.
Muscle. Yes.
Every day because it shifts and it changes and it needs something different from you. One of the biggest things you're going to get when you are in entrepreneurship is the ability to flow and adapt with what is needed right now. Your
Exactly.
mind will need different things because when life is happening, like when we got hit with these two back-to-back hurricanes, we lost all power, we lost all food, we got house damage. The business still needed to run. It was like, does it? Stop. I'll be back
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
right now I need to take care of what's happening here.
Yeah.
So
That
y'all,
has to. So, I mean, sometimes you got to put it on a back burner for certain things. Like I remember in 2011, I was producing fashion shows throughout New York, plus size models, all this other kind of stuff, and I pretty much burnt myself out to the ground. And I was pregnant, and I had fibroids, and the fibroids, I had to have a DNC done because there was no babies. It was just an empty sac, and when they did the
Jesus,
DNC to remove the fibroid or the empty sac, what happened is the fibroid got infected. And I ended up in the hospital for 13 days, Amber. And I woke up the 11th day, lips blue, whole body gray. So they had to rush me into emergency surgery. And I had 50 models on the team. Guess how much came to see me at the hospital? Five.
let's be fun. I'm gonna say 15.
Five.
Right.
And I was laying in the bed, shoulda, coulda, woulda, girl.
Mhm.
And God wasn't done with me yet because after I had that surgery, when I survived that, 2.5 weeks later, my gallbladder was damaged, being repaired. So I'm healing from one surgery, going into another one. Because God was like, nah, nah, I know I made you stubborn. So I'm going to show you something else. So you could kind of like stop
I
that.
know I made you this way. I'm gonna show you how. Girl, look here. You know what you just did right there? That was a whole. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
just that one line of God made me this way. That right there, people would use that as an excuse
Mm-hmm.
or as a tool to actually leverage that thing.
Yeah.
Because like, wait, God made me this way. I'm just gonna da 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 da. Nope, nope, nope. Because you are settling into the weakest side of what you felt like He made you. That's an excuse,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God made me laugh because I know if you do something, I'm gonna say something and da da da. This is how God made me. I'm gonna always be like this. If God made you with fire, use your fire for the way He intended you to use it.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what
I
I had
love
to
that.
do. I had to, because I sat there and I'm like, okay, we're not dying. This is an experience. We know we have a lot of life left to live. We have a lot of stuff to do. You're a servant. You're being shown something right now.
Yeah.
And so I turned off the whole company, agency, whatever, and I went and got my certification as a life coach
Mm.
because I knew that everything that I've been through up to that point was for a reason and a lesson for me to go into the world, share my stories with other people, let them know you are not alone, you're not by yourself, but also what is your fucking excuse? That's what that did for me.
Exactly. And what is it? Because
Right,
whatever it's going to be, it's about to be weak.
right.
Because
Because
think
after
about
I
it.
tell you that I've been through the same thing you did, and I'm not here no longer playing the victim, I'm not allowing the situation to define who I am as a human being, as a person, a spiritual being, walking this earth and the purpose. You can do it too. Like, what is stopping you? That's what it did for me.
What are you telling yourself that you are thinking
That
that you can't do this?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But you gotta shift your mindset every single day. It is a muscle because if we can go through life thinking negative things about ourselves and how we feel about ourselves negatively, we consistently have to retrain that muscle every single day. It's like
Yes.
when you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, take a shower, wash your face, all that stuff. That's your mindset has to be like that every single day. Because if not, it'll either make you or break you.
Yeah.
One out the two.
Yeah.
One out
And
the
I
two.
think that's it is different for every single person. So we're like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
people say, oh, this is what you do for self-care, this is what you do. For it doesn't work the same for every person. So you as an individual have to figure out what is it that your mind needs. If you know your physical health, you need water, you need healthy food, you need to make sure you're seeing a doctor. What does
Mm-hmm.
your mental health tell you that you need today?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Because what you need today is different than probably what you needed yesterday. It's
Yeah.
definitely different than what you needed a year ago because you're not even the same person you were then.
And plus, you're
So
getting older. And so there are certain things you need to do for your body and yourself. And coming back to like what you said, drinking water and so on and so forth. Now that I'm 47, I know for me, it's definitely more water and
mhm.
doing things in moderation, of course, but making sure that I am making sure that my immune system is tight and right.
Mm,
Tight and
yeah,
right. So that means walking more. That means sun. That means certain things. That
yeah.
means there's certain foods that I know that I cannot eat anymore because of that. That means I gotta, when I get down on the floor, because sometimes I make bracelets and waist beads on the floor, I gotta strategize the hell out of myself, like how the fuck I'm gonna get up.
Well, let me roll over. Let me roll to the
Let me
knee.
put one knee down, put one knee up at a time, that type of stuff. So to your point, like I feel like it's everything in moderation, but again, it goes back to what you're thinking. Because I wake up every morning.
Mm,
I'm grateful. I have impeccable health. I will never ever have no type of diseases whatsoever. I'm going to live until like 90, 95 years old. I will still be walking around. I might be dancing on a bar or two because that's what I'm going to do when I'm 90 and I'm going to be okay with that. But it's just
baby, we gonna
actually
love it. We're gonna inspire somebody else.
right. And so it's always shifting the mindset because I feel like we can control what this is and what this feels like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
With the help of God, of course, but God is there to catapult you to help you, but then you have to take the responsibility to make sure that you do your part as well. That's what I'm
mm.
saying.
I think that's always the connection that's missing for people, especially when they hear they're saying, "Oh yeah, this business was a faith journey." Oh, so all the success you're getting is because God gave it to you. No,
Mm-hmm.
it's because He said, "I'm going to do this for you
Mm-hmm.
if you do this."
Yeah.
It is His love is not conditional, but you receiving the harvest that He told you requires you to do something.
Yeah.
You have to plant the seed. You
Yeah.
have to water what you're doing. You have to be proactive. Like you're proactive with your health. Like when I realized this is so random, but the same thing is just I need to do something in order to
Mm-hmm.
make it shake. It doesn't mean I'm operating in my own strength. It means I know I'm showing up with what you gave me.
Right.
Right. So when
Mm-hmm.
I realized, like, oh, I got to lean on the bed to put my jeans on, I said, "Girl, listen, you coming up on 40. You are not a cheerleader anymore, right? So you realize that these hips they done tightened up, friend. Your thighs, they done tightened up, friend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do the same thing proactively. It's like you want to be the person who at 50 is sitting here like, ooh, I need a minute. I can't do that. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why would you
Yeah.
expect that? Be proactive and realize I'm gonna do something. I know that these changes are happening in business, in my body, in my mind, in my life.
Everything. Everything.
Changes are happening. I have to be fluid enough to adapt to what is needed right now.
Absolutely.
That is what that is. And you know what? That answers that first question when you ask, well, what did it change? Me being fluid and adaptable, realizing that I can't control everything. This black woman,
Surrender.
take,
Surrender.
take
Surrender.
it off. I ain't got it.
Yeah.
A whole lot of submission.
Yeah.
It is
You
it
gotta.
is
You
not
have
control. It
to.
is mhm.
You got to. And a lot of people don't understand that when you spend so much energy trying to control something you cannot control, you're missing the lesson. You're missing the wisdom that you're gaining. You're missing and being present within the experience because it's showing you something.
Yeah,
It's showing you something. It's a
yes.
surrender. Yeah.
And this false sense of control you have for whatever you feel was snatched from you at one point that you feel like you were out of control. So now I'm going to control the narrative. I'm going to control what it looks like. I'm going to micromanage this. I'm only going to allow so much. I'm going to do it all. That trauma response of don't worry, I can do it. I'll do it. I'll handle it. I got it. I'm fine. That shows up in business.
It does show up in business. You're right.
And you will be burnt out and overwhelmed and exceeding capacity because you feel like you can control it. You are operating in your own strength, and baby, you were never given that amount of strength that is required to make this
Hmm.
do what it needs to do. It is required
Exactly.
surrendering, like you just said. You have to surrender what needs to be surrendered, and how do you know what needs to be surrendered, what you need to work on, which that requires you having that consistent connection of like, I need to be tuned in, I need to
Yeah.
be tapped in. So when
Yeah.
he tells me to move, another move. When he tells me to stop, when he tells me to sit down, when he tells me that ain't the person, that ain't the partnership, I can hear it. And
Hmm.
I don't have me in my ear, I don't have distractions in my ear. I already know, thank you for this opportunity, but it's not going to be in alignment with what we want to do. But I look
Yeah.
forward to seeing if that changes in the future.
Hmm. And even
But
like sometimes, because I reach out to people all the time about like, having my bracelets in your gift bags or working with them for this or team building that. I'll send an email, I'll follow up. But if it's not in alignment, if I don't get a response, that means that's not what it is. And I have to be
and
okay
move
with
on.
that. Right.
Your value is not in their response. That
Right.
comes as a lesson.
Hmm.
That was a huge lesson for me of
Hmm.
thinking, and I was just reading this, the gift of rejection, where why is your value so closely tied into what someone else working with you, or someone
Hmm.
else partnering with you, or someone else purchasing from you, or someone else contracting with you? That's not where your value is. This is how you're serving.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
that's where you're meant to serve, you will serve there.
Yeah. And it's
If
going to
you're
happen
doing it with no,
authentically and effortlessly. It won't even take a hard time. It won't be
nope.
having to prove yourself. It'll just be like, I bet, here you go.
And
Here
you'll
you
be
go.
like, you'll get that feeling of, oh my gosh, that was too
Hmm.
easy. No, that
Right.
was called alignment. That's what alignment is. That's
Hmm.
what it slides on down. Real smooth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So it was enlightening to have this conversation with you, Queen.
Thank you. Listen, we all in here just keying and preaching. We with
There you
that.
go. So, do you have any specials or anything coming up for the holidays? Because I know I started promoting my holiday specials like today. So, what do you got going on, sis, for people to just reach out to you so they can get all this stuff, all this yumminess that you have going on?
Let me tell you something that's going to shock the system. I decided not to do holiday specials.
Okay,
This,
that's fine.
this Let me tell you why though. For the people who are like, but it's Black Friday. I subscribed for me of all right, I gotta make it fit because this is what happens. 1 + 1 = 2. This is what you're supposed to do in Q4. It's supposed to happen. And I was trying to fit this square peg into this round hole for so long. And
You
it was,
can't.
you can't. So am I looking for the deals? Absolutely.
Hmm.
I am. But with what we have going on in the business, we're launching something really big. It requires a lot of our focus, and we are excited to talk about that in 2025. So I'm gonna come back to you.
Oh, not a
Um,
problem.
that is something that's so completely different and so completely new. All of our energy and attention is going towards that. If I were to shift over to something on my product side to push that right now, it would take me out of alignment.
And
And
that's fine.
I'm so tired of hitting that wall. So there is nothing. Let me tell you something. When you do, I'm so
Oh, I
tired
know
of.
the wall. I know the wall. The wall looking at me like, if you come back here one more time.
I got something for you. I got something for you, right? So there is no particular promotion outside of we are always in existing to create something unique for people, right?
Absolutely.
So
Hmm.
if people are looking for special gift boxes, if you're looking for a custom scent, if you're looking to make your home feel like your grandmother's home growing up and you
Hmm.
want to do that through scent, we are absolutely always going to be here for you. We are always going to promote that. But you won't see us doing anything like, oh, we're doing this for Black Friday or the holidays. We are showing up right now the same way we showed up for you last month and the month before, consistently as your trusted place when you want to create
Hmm.
something. Come to
Love it.
us if you have some ideas. If you're not sure what you want to do for the holidays, but you know something to shake it up, add a little razzle dazzle. We
Hmm.
exist on a bespoke level. That's why we're different, right? So it's not like
Hmm.
you just go on a website and you can build and do all this. We exist on a one-to-one. We tailor make whatever it is that you want, and we can craft it in a way where it is only for you, right?
Hmm.
So we are 100% open to that. You
Hmm.
can find us anywhere you can type the scented vine in. That's where we are because we're the only person that has that name.
That's good. I was just going to ask you that too, where people can find you, but you answered that question. So, all right.
You see how we slid it on in there? Listen, it's
Just slid
after
it in there.
www before .com, and you can add a little ampersand wherever you are. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. You'll
The
find
whole nine
us.
yards. Yeah.
Search the Scented Vine. If you want to be like, I don't feel like Googling nothing, you can email me directly. It is Amber at thescentedvine.com. Ask a question. Come and talk to me. Like Jodeci said, come and talk to me.
I
What
love
you
it.
need to me, and I'm here to serve in that way.
Same. I completely good. Good job. I love it. You did that. You did that.
Thank you for having. I love this. Thank you for this
Abs-
conversation. Nice,
absolutely.
simple, but I feel like the impact was there. So I'm always here to do this. This is where I
Oh, for
find my
sure.
community.
All right, cool. Well, I will actually invite you to my other platform is Monday Night Soulful Conversations on YouTube Live in a couple Mondays from now. So we could pick a topic and talk about it.
Let's
Tonight's
do it.
topic, of course. Tonight's topic is honoring your feelings with the empowerment coach. So we'll be talking about all things honoring your feelings through all
Mm,
aspects of life and how giving yourself permission to be angry, to be upset, to be pissed off, all of the things, and not looking at it as a negative connotation, but how to fuel that fire and energy within yourself through that anger to rise up in a different type of way. So that's a conversation for tonight on it's going to be on YouTube because I am working on enhancing my YouTube channel because I feel this way. Facebook and Instagram, they're great platforms and everything else, but when they go out and they have them blackouts, honey,
and they do.
I ain't trying to lose nothing over that. So you know what? I'm just focusing on this right here because TikTok is about to go too at some point. So you got to kind of like pivot in different
Yes,
ways with different platforms.
you
So
have to adjust. I love it.
yeah, so me is YouTube and my Substack newsletter. So those are the two things that I am building at the
Okay.
moment to make it happen. But yeah, I'll definitely want you to be on there to choose a topic and we can talk about it because I feel like people need this. It's like fueling the soul. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So that's what it is.
Yes.
So, but I thank you, Queen.
Please send me the link for the YouTube for tonight because I would love to
Yes,
support and show up for that. I'll
absolutely.
be
Will
happy.
do. Absolutely. So thank you for coming on the podcast. I appreciate you. This queen dropped so much gems. I hope you people took a notebook and a pen and was writing stuff down. Catch the replay because it's going to be on YouTube as well as Spotify. And please reach out to the sister and support her and support her
Thank
business and
you. Thank
for
you.
sure because she's doing the damn thing. All right, y'all. So this is Stills Victoria, host of What's Your Brain Story podcast. Till next time, remember be grateful every single day from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep.
Amen.
And there is a philosopher that says, when you go to bed at night, you die, and in the morning is a rebirth. So, what you can't be done, what has not been done today, fortunate to wake up tomorrow, make sure you do that shit. Don't wait. Time is a commodity, and time is currency more than money. So, do the things today. Do it now. Talk to y'all soon. Have a good one.